Damn, we're stuck here until reinforcements arrive.
Wouldn't we be better off just storming in?
Garner resisting arrest?
Who are you?
I'm Detective Charlie Chapman.
Charlie? The legendary Charlie Chapman?
I'll go talk to him.
Hold on!
Don't worry. It's a .22 caliber. About as effective as a slingshot. Garner! I'd like a word with you. Garner, I'd like to...
Who's there? Who's there? I didn't kill Dorfman. I am innocent.
Oh?
Stay back! Someone's framing me.
And who do you suppose is framing you?
I really don't know, but when I was in the room talking to Dorfman, someone suddenly appeared at the other door and fired right at him. I told you not to move!
If you're innocent, defend yourself in court.
Are you mad? Who would ever believe anything I said?
You are surrounded. You can't get away.
I'll die first!
Think you can kill yourself with a .22? Delivering a bullet through the temple won't do much damage, even if it comes out the other side. You'll still have a life, but you'll have to get used to being a cripple. You should get a bigger gun if you want to die. Just stick the barrel inside your mouth. And clamp your teeth. The angle's also important. You must make sure that you pierce the skull behind your brain. Use a rifle.
But just how do you expect me to get my life back?
That's your call.
Mr. Chapman, once again, you caught the suspect without the aid of the police.
It's my civic duty.
Mr. Chapman, can you confirm that Garner was a criminal associate of Dorfman's?
No comment. That's confidential.
Is it true you talked Garner out of committing suicide?
I've no comment.
Mr. Chapman, many thanks for your assistance.
Who is that man?
An agent from Lloyd's.
He's from Lloyd's? So it is you, Taiji. Well, it's been a long time.
Charlie Chapman.
You're looking well. So I hear you're working as an insurance investigator for Lloyd's.
And I've heard you've become the most famous detective in the world.
Still second to Mike Hammer.
But how did you discover Garner's hideout?
The records revealed that the house was once owned by Dorfman. It's simple if you think about it. Ring me up sometime if you run into any trouble, okay?
Thanks, I sure will.
It's over. There's nothing more to be done on this case. That daft smile of his hasn't changed a bit.
Are you ready to go through with it, mate?
Yeah?
Train's coming soon. Just stand still. The first one to jump away is a chicken. And gives up his right to the secret place. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Charlie!
You lot go hide.
We're with you, Charlie!
You're gonna win!
A thrill, wouldn't you say?
Oh no! Look out!
Charlie! Taichi pulled Charlie back! Yay!
But I don't see them here. Huh? I once heard that when you're run over by a train, there's nothing left of you at all.
What?
I know that I cheated. I jumped to your side right before the train came. Like I promised, this place is yours. So my mates and I will never play rugby here again.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, why'd you go through with that just to keep us from playing here?
Because this place is amazing.
Amazing?
All these ruins. And the water. Well, amazing, huh?
Yeah. From now on, you can call me Charlie.
I'm Taichi.
You know Taichi. You don't happen to remember what I yelled out, do you? When the train came.
Oh, you mean when you yelled Mama? Don't worry, it's our little secret.
Roger, my own son, you look smashing. Let's eat.
And I do have a keen eye for beautiful women. Taichi? Hey, Taichi! You made it!
It's formal dress. I'll go change.
No, I insist you come in and try my mother's cooking.
Don't be timid. Please have as much of this as you'd like.
That's my mother. But come to think of it, you've never actually met her, have you?
Charlie, don't you ever speak with your mouth full. It's horribly impolite.
Right.
And take a good look at your hands, Charlie. I've told you once already to wash them.
Yes, I heard you.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoy tonight's dinner.
Blimey, can't please my mother, no matter how old I get. Well then, shall I tell you the details concerning my last case? It happened during the 5th wedding anniversary party thrown by the art dealer Edward Dorfman and his wife Janet. A gunshot suddenly rang out. Janet held back the guests and opened the door to the sitting room. There she saw an officer from Scotland Yard. In his arms he was holding the bloody body of Dorfman. It was Garner. Dorfman's mother contacted me and asked that I investigate the case. Garner testified in a police interview, and I quote,
I was speaking with the art dealer Dorfman on a matter of personal business. Suddenly the door of the sitting room swung open, and someone took aim and fired.
However, the bullet extracted from Dorfman was a 7.65mm. That bullet can be loaded into a Walther PPK, the gun that Garner normally uses. As I began my investigation, I found out that Garner was taking bribes from Dorfman. I also found out that Dorfman was being very generous to McBain, an unknown painter. Are you McBain?
Huh?
This is quite a nice painting.
Thank you.
There's something vaguely familiar about this one. The man undoubtedly had talent, but all his works were copies of Cézanne, Vlaminck, and Monet. The masters. In other words, he specialized in forgeries. Dorfman was replacing original paintings with fakes. Whenever there were any entanglements, Garner would show up to deal with them. That's how the story unfolded, my friends.
Oh, it's all very clear now. So Garner was in on Dorfman's little scheme, but in the end there was a falling out over money. Was that it?
Yes, precisely.
Oh.
But even though Garner had a Walther PPK, that alone isn't sufficient proof that he was indeed the guilty party.
Science holds the key.
Huh?
We then analyzed the marks on the bullet.
Marks on the bullet?
Inside the barrel of a gun is a spiral groove. Every firearm has one that's slightly different. When the gun is fired, the barrel leaves a distinct marking on the bullet. It's essentially a gun's fingerprint. It can't be made artificially, so this type of identification is highly reliable as proof. Yes, as I suspected, the marks on the bullet found in Dorfman were an exact match to those created by Garner's gun. That's it, Taichi. You said you wished to talk. Have you finished the insurance investigation?
Actually, things aren't going that well. Hey, I'm wondering if you could do me a little favor.
Who, me?
Ah, come on, Charlie.
All you wanted from me was access to the evidence? What do you want with that? The case is closed.
Charlie, where did the officers find this rolled-up piece of leather?
In the garden near the house.
It looks like something's painted on it.
It's grease.
Grease?
My Walther?
Think, do you remember it ever leaving your sight?
Let's see now. It's possible I left it behind in the hideout at Chester. I always put it in a drawer when I go to bed.
This is delicious. Maybe the best in London.
Right, with the exception of my mother's.
Your mother certainly knows how to whip up some fantastic dishes.
So then? Don't you play the fool! You dragged me all over the city with you. Listen to me. The case has already been solved, mate.
Charlie!
I have solved this case.
Charlie!
Damn. Don't just sit there, mate. Say something.
Well, Garner asked Lloyds to initiate further investigations to help him prove his innocence.
What's that?
In exchange for disclosing where Dorfman had stashed the authentic paintings.
Nonsense. Garner murdered Dorfman.
I used to think so as well. Until I saw this.
A cartridge?
I spotted it over by the pool at Garner's.
On the very same day that I apprehended the man.
It's a cartridge from a bullet that was fired from Garner's Walther, I checked.
So, what about it then?
Question is, why would a bullet from his gun be lying over by the pool?
Garner must have used it, right?
And then I thought about that greasy piece of leather I saw at the police station. This is only a theory, but... let's say someone knows about Garner's hideout and sneaks inside. The intruder removes the gun. He aims the gun at the water in the pool. And fishes out a used bullet that's still intact. He applies grease to the bullet and wraps it in the leather, then loads it into a gun with a larger caliber than a Walther. The bullet that took Dorfman's life had the markings of a bullet from Garner's Walther. But the murderer made one mistake. He accidentally dropped the piece of leather that was wrapped around the bullet.
That can't be! No, even if there were another suspect, tell me who would have killed Dorfman!
I'd say someone close, a colleague of Dorfman's, one who has an old gun that doesn't use cartridges.
A gun that doesn't use cartridges?
What's the matter, Charlie?
Damn!
Hey!
Taking a trip so late at night? Mr. McBain? Now I see. You were engaged in an illicit affair with Mrs. Janet Dorfman.
Has the case really been solved this time? How did you figure out that McBain and Mrs. Dorfman were the true culprits?
No comment again.
Monsieur the subject, sir. How you solved the mystery?
There he is! Make way! Move!
there. Go and get changed.
I lost once again, Mother.
What are you mumbling about? Hurry now and wash your hands. It's time for dinner.
There is a chef who seeks to preserve a traditional taste, and there is a young man who seeks to carry on the tradition. Food has no boundaries. Traditions change form, depending on the place and times, as they get passed down over the generations, all so that it can spread throughout the world. Next time, special menu.